Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing a tarot reading for, I believe it's Saturday, no, not Saturday, Thursday, September 18th, I believe. Yes, the 18th, 2025. And if this doesn't resonate with you, then please move on. Let us get started. So I'm starting something new where I have like this gooseneck table clamp on my for my phone, and not too sure about it yet. So we'll see. And as I'm shuffling, I'm getting a better idea of the energy for tomorrow, and yeah, so I know I didn't do a reading yesterday, and it was pretty busy, so it is probably after like 8:30 where I am right now, so I'm pretty tired. It's after work, and it's one of those days. But anyway, getting the idea and feel for the deck today. I started something new where I started to look into the different zodiac and planets that influence each of the tarot cards. So I figured that would be really interesting to kind of incorporate over time. But anyway, I thought maybe of doing something kind of like this, where you see my table, but I can't really, I don't see it. Anyway, I have to figure out how to do that. So in the meantime, I'm just going to show you. The first card we have is the King of Pentacles. And so, again, I like to read with at least one more card just to get an idea of how things are. But, we'll see how this goes. I hope it goes well. We have the Ace of Swords. So with the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords, that is like someone is very into their values and is willing to really stand up for those things that they believe in. But also at the same time, with the Ace of Swords, that's also being very reasonable in a kind of logical way of thinking about things, in a very kind of matter-of-fact way of doing something and holding those values close. So I think that that could be interesting. And also with the Ace of Swords, you'll notice that there's like a couple olive branches and like a crown around the sword. So it's kind of I don't really know how to describe it. So I think it's kind of a new venture into something like a greater purpose, so to speak. Of finding things that you value, of beginning to really do things in a logical kind of way. So we'll see. Okay, so we have the Six of Pentacles here. And the Six of Pentacles in this reading is really more about finding balance in the way that this King of Pentacles energy is really kind of following his path. And so, what did I say before about the Ace of Swords? It's about doing it logically. So I think that it's kind of, yeah, kind of taking the high road, so to speak, the King's Road. I don't know, that just kind of popped into my head, I guess. So we have Justice. And with, like, before I even got this card, I was thinking that there was a lot of Libra energy, like underlying Libra energy in this reading. So really, right, like the King of Pentacles, he's standing up for what he believes is right, for the betterment of everyone, and Justice just really kind of reinforces that idea. So I think really taking the high road and kind of doing things in a potentially unconventional way is an interesting way to look at it in this instance. We have Judgment. So with Judgment, I think that this is a long time coming. So right over here, like, you know, the angel is blowing its horn, and then the people down here are really just waiting for this sort of new kind of beginning of something, like someone is heralding something in. So it could be this King of Pentacles and his desire for justice, and sort of reflecting back on our values. And for some reason I'm thinking of the Hierophant energy a lot. I don't know why, but that just kind of, it popped into my head. So next we have the Queen of Cups. And in my reading, she's underneath the King of Pentacles, like this. So, it could be that these two energies, like, symbolize some kind of partnership. So there's like a Queen of Pentacles, that energy that is married or in a partnership to the King of Pentacles energy, and they're really kind of balancing each other very well in this instance. But the Queen of Cups really is very in tune with her emotions, and she has a very strong sense of value as well, of her values and what she holds dear. And I think, like, with the King of Pentacles and his values, I think that they can really complement one another. I'll pull a few more cards. This is going to be a pretty quick reading tonight. So I pulled the Eight of Cups, and for some reason in this reading, I'm getting it more of a reversed sense. Of all the other cards, I wasn't getting any kind of sense of reversal, but this one I am. For some, I don't know, for some reason it makes me think of some kind of disillusionment or a sense of discouragement that's happening because maybe other people aren't really following or don't have the same values and ideals as this Queen of Cups and King of Pentacles energy. So it could be something that they're striving for that is just not connecting. There's some sort of disconnect between them and the people around them for some reason. And we have the World. There. Covering up, you know, normal human anatomy, because God forbid we show breasts on YouTube. Anyway, the World. So, I think, like, with the World card, I think that it's really just about bringing focus to what you're doing, or what this group, these two people are doing. That's just like bringing focus, really kind of reevaluating where they stand, and sort of coming at what they're doing with a new approach. Really kind of, I'm getting a sense of like a victory of some sort, but I'm not really exactly sure why. We have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is really like a very, okay, so these two people are like finding their passion again. Like they're really, they manifest their passion in a healthy, positive way. Their passion for justice, their passion for empathy, their emotions, their values. There's really just a lot of kind of reevaluation of that. And then I think eventually, well, it might, yeah, I think they're just really kind of thinking of new ways of how to come across to, I don't know, their constituents, their people. I don't know how to really describe it. I'm seeing it as more of like a couple in a sense, but I don't know. Yeah, so we have the Page of Cups. And with the Page of Cups, I think there's really just kind of an excitement for like a childlike wonder of something coming through to these people. So what I'm getting is that this King of Pentacles, right, and this Queen of Cups, they're like this power couple, right? So what I'm getting with the Page of Cups is that, or, well, let me rephrase. The Queen of Cups and the King of Pentacles, yes, they're a power couple, but at the same time, they're also sort of like spiritually enlightened, sort of like ascended masters of some sort. Like they've just got this sort of crazy amount of empathy and value to the world around them and that which they create. So this Page of Cups could potentially be like a new kind of venture for them, in terms of bringing the masses along, into their belief system, sort of ushering them in. And like I said, Judgment, like it's kind of ushering something new in. Like these people at the bottom have been waiting for something new. But again, it wasn't everyone, it was some people. But like these, the King of Pentacles and Queen of Cups energy are just really kind of beginning to kind of flip the narrative and really kind of hone things in and like make it really kind of about other people and really focus on values and emotion and empathy and really kind of getting people to look at their own emotions and their own values and really kind of reassess that. So underneath the King of Pentacles and Queen of Cups, we have the Lovers. What did I say? They're a power couple. They are good at creating things together, really kind of making things happen for everyone. And they have this sort of charisma that people haven't seen in a while, which is really kind of interesting. And there's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm putting these two people on a pedestal, but at the same time, I don't think that, because it's just what I'm getting from the cards. And just overall, I think like the King of Pentacles and Queen of Cups energies are very intertwined, interconnected. They're very in tune with one another and with other people around them. So that's what I think makes them very good sort of leaders, or like masters of their craft. And they're charismatic in a good way, not necessarily a, you know, a bad sort of negative way. I think that charisma goes both ways. And I think also at the same time that it's important to find leaders that are genuine. And I think like in this instance, the Lovers card really kind of confirms that. So, just, you know, a few more cards. I said that like 10 minutes ago, so we'll see. Yeah, so this couple, this energy, again, Queen of Cups and King of Pentacles, is very fast moving. We have the Knight of Swords. So this Knight of Swords is really like all about the ideas that these two people consider really kind of important, right? So I think it's really just like the Knight of Swords. The knights are always like action takers, right? So kind of they're like flipping the narrative of how people see them and how people respond to one another, and sort of getting people to kind of look at themselves in a really brutally honest way, which is very important in times like these. I think that if people actually acknowledged the dark sides of themselves, then we wouldn't really be where we are today. And maybe it goes the other way too. Like maybe if we all acknowledge the dark side of ourselves, then we actually embrace it, but on an unhealthy level, like most of America is right now. But like, I think what the point of trying to say is that acknowledging the shadow self and understanding that it's there, and you don't have to accept it. I mean, well, that's the thing. You kind of do, because it is a part of you. So you can be good and bad at the same time. So I think, you know, in this instance, the Lover's card, for example, like if I were to pull that from an oracle deck, there could be a good side, which would be like, you know, partnership and fulfillment. And then if it were reversed, it would be about like obsession or like abusive kind of situations. And I think what I'm saying is that having a shadow is okay. And, you know, as humans, we kind of have to live with that and be crappy people. I mean, everyone is kind of crappy in their own way. Like, so anyway, onward. So again, the Knight of Swords is a lot of like sort of really fast moving forward energy towards like this greater sort of collective idea of betterment for everyone. I'm gonna do 2 or 3 more cards, and then I'll do a top and bottom reading. Shoot. 5 of Wands. Maybe I read this all wrong, and the Knight of Swords is charging into battle. No. I think the 5 of Wands is really about, in this instance, just like not getting hung up on the small things, like really kind of being able to move forward and like take these out of the ground, like, right? Like move them out of your way so you can move forward. Like you don't have to create blocks just because there's like a small inconvenience. But it's also about staying guarded in this instance. I think that with the energies of the 2 people, the Queen of Cups and the King of Pentacles, it's just like realizing they can only do so much, but at the same time remove barriers from people, and people can also remove their own barriers, and realizing that as like a struggle of itself, in and of itself. All right. Ouch. So, ouch. I got my flu and COVID shots the other day, and it's just very itchy. Anyway, 6 of Swords. So this is kind of moving forward. This is really kind of taking those blocks and acknowledging them. Maybe not necessarily removing them, but kind of making a path towards something that's free of any kind of obstructions or any kind of debris, or it could be, excuse me, free of sort of, you know, anything else, like moving forward and past things that don't serve you. And lastly, we have the Emperor. So this is just about like finding that focus, really kind of following it and having a kind of very like strict focus of how you're going to get things done. This energy, again, Queen of Cups, King of Pentacles, like how they're going to get things done. It's very strategic and regimented, as well as like really like fast-paced forward movement towards something bigger than themselves. Okay, so now we'll do a top and bottom read. We have the Eight of Pentacles on the top and the Chariot on the bottom. So whatever's happening here, there's a lot of determination. Determination of values, of creating something bigger than themselves, than yourself, than whatever. And I think like it's just finding that kind of determination to move forward, right? The Chariot, like you're really like, you're holding the reins, like you're in charge. I did want to get a little bit more information on the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups cards. Let me just do that real quick. Okay. So I'll do the King of Pentacles first. What is he like? What is the King of Pentacles like? Ooh, okay. The Magician, extremely good at manifesting. Very powerful in his own right. Her, his, her, their own right. And it's not just all smoke and mirrors. It's all like, it's real because it's the King of Pentacles. He can really focus on what he wants and when he wants it and how to do it. So I think we've got the Lovers again. So interesting, because he's very good at like contracts and agreements and upholding those kinds of agreements, contracts, whatever, what have you. And I think sticking to that is a very important trait to have. And really kind of ignoring all of the sort of distractions that could come his way. I'll do one more card for the King of Pentacles, and then I'll do the Queen of Cups. So this is a powerful King of Pentacles. We've got Justice. Again. And so if you think about it, the Lovers is very, like, it's very focused on two individuals, on doing things in a dual kind of fashion, but also, so is Justice with the scales. And the Lovers and Justice are both ruled by Libra and Gemini. Yeah. So air signs, right? So they're very kind of high-minded. This is a very, even though he's the King of Pentacles and very grounded, he is very high-minded in his own right. Okay. Next, we'll read on the Queen of Cups. And again, I'm just leaving the King of Pentacles card separate because I did the Queen of Cups for him. I left her separate, or that card separate. So what is the Queen of Cups? What is she like? Let's get a sense of this Queen of Cups. I'm getting a lot of, like, I don't know, like, Three of Cups. I'm getting a lot of, like, Virgo Empress energy here. Like, this Queen of Cups, her cups are full, man. Like, she is doing her own thing. She's full of abundance. She's just very warm and centered, and just very nurturing in her own right. She's also very grounded as well. High-minded and grounded, and also in charge of her emotions. We have the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles, this Queen of Cups energy has a lot of, like, wonder about the world around her and how things work, and just, like, she has this sort of childlike energy of everything that she encounters. We have the Seven of Wands. I'm going to pull a clarifier card. Okay. It fell out. The Star. So, even though this Queen of Cups has had difficulties in the past with the Seven of Wands, she's gotten past that. She shines in her own way. She's very giving, but she also receives well as well. So, she kind of just does her own thing. Kudos, right? Like, she's kind of, I can imagine her as very aloof and kind of in her head a lot, but that wouldn't bother me. Kind of like, I don't know, I guess, to put it into more like contemporary terms, I think I describe the Queen of Cups as like a Luna Lovegood kind of energy here. Like, she exemplifies a lot of like what Luna Lovegood and Harry Potter exhibits in a personality, and that's just what I'm getting. Just one more card. Yeah, she's got we have the Three of Cups. She's very abundant. This is like an all-encompassing sort of very warm individual who just, yeah. As I think more about it, I think it's harder for me to really express the kind of vibe that I'm getting. I think it just, yeah, but anyway, she's very in tune with her emotions and her values, and is very grounded as well. So anywho, that's all I have for you today. Oh, at the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords and Four of Cups on top, but that's okay. I already did top and bottom. Anyway, that's it. Have a good night, everyone.